Honest, we all knew, of course, that Meghan's Nigerian visit, you know, the one with the 43% heritage of that, would come in handy. She'd worked that out a long time ago, obviously. But what's interesting now is she's decided to accelerate this, and basically this is her plan. Some people might suggest her cunning plan to make sure, once again, she takes centre stage. What I'm worried about, though, is what's happened to the jams as ever. Let me explain. Now, it's interesting, isn't it, when you think about stories like this? Oh, we'll have a quick wave, sorry about that. Getting straight into it then. No, you tell me off, won't you? Absolutely. Lovely flowers, by the way. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful hanging basket? Just thrilling, isn't it? Have you ever had to go to hanging basket? Mine come out looking like a set of snakes, you know, terrible when you think about it. Just can't do it. Now, what's interesting is this. As we now know, sadly for some people, the former president of the United States, Joe Biden, still hanging on, but now no longer really president, because Kamala Harris is that particular person in question, looking after all things in the White House. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because as we know, and you know, I've got many contacts out there that work directly with these people, including, of course, the budding president himself, Donald J. Trump, you know, you get all the inside track. Now, it's all about celebrity endorsement. As you know, if you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out. And what even President Biden is finding is that, you know, very quickly their allegiance switches, you know, the likes of the Streisand's of this world, who now decide to pull that money back and give it to somebody that they now prefer instead. All the while, many platitudes, some people might say. But here's where it gets really interesting, because obviously people want to be associated with a winner. Nothing wrong with that. I totally understand it. But as you can imagine, somebody like Meghan Markle, who's itching to get into the world of politics, whatever she says, well, seemingly now, yes, things have moved on, accelerated since Sunday night, and that bombshell sort of resignation, as we saw over here in the United Kingdom, around about 7 p.m. time. But here's her cunning plan, and whatever the media print, this is the plan from an excellent source. You see, Meghan has already reached out to Kamala Harris. And the thing is, the bonding thing that she's going to be using is the women of colour thing, yes. It's a bit like me reaching out to a member of ABBA saying we're blonde, we should team up. You know, it's that fickle. But this is what people do. This is the world of celebrity, right? Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. No, Meghan isn't looking to get too political too quickly. But what she is looking for is to introduce Camilla at key... Now, Meghan is not looking to get political too quickly, but what she's looking to do with Kamala is basically introduce her. That's right, introduce her at key rally sites. And the reason that she's citing this is simply, you know, she says in her missive, and there is a missive to the White House, that the bottom line is, look at the power, the press that you could get associated, if you like, with Meghan. And when you think about it, yes, some people might say it makes perfect sense. On the other side, is it the sort of press that you want, the backlash? But as we already know as well, Miss Harris isn't necessarily polling to the best of her abilities. This is how it works in the murky world of politics. So you see, by sending herself out front just to introduce that particular individual, even for, you know, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, all that sort of stuff, you saw it when she did the same thing on the stage with Katie Couric and the rest of them. She wiped them away and it was all about her. Now, is Miss Harris, you know, brave enough, strong enough, wise enough to realise that she could be overshadowed in the PR stakes? Or will she look at the bigger picture and think all of these followers may help? But then again, when you look at Meghan's followers for American Riviera Orchard, it's nothing really to boast about, is it? But either way, Meghan is pushing hard. It's not about what you think. She wants to get on the stage simply to introduce her and bask in the associated highlight. Remember, you heard that here first. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.